So let's do this. Let's get into this application. I just want to show you and make sure that you guys have everything that you need to know to be able to successfully negotiate through the application. It is in the application process that I do see questions come up, and I want to make sure that we have clarity here. So again, where are we? We are in that PSI candidate information bulletin. We are on page 22 of this bulletin. On page 22 and slightly beyond, several pages after, is the application paperwork that you guys need to complete, scan, and upload to PSI. You're going to be emailing them this application. And I'm going to show you exactly where to send it and how to do it. Okay, so let's get into this. First things first, I am using Adobe Acrobat Pro DC. Some of you guys may not have this. I have the Adobe suite. We use Adobe products for like all kinds of stuff. I'm a video editing person. I do tons of graphic animation stuff and all of these other things. So I use the Adobe Creative Cloud suite, right? I also have Adobe DC Pro. Adobe DC gives me the ability to be able to type into PDF documents, compile them, combine documents, do all kinds of different functions. Sign documents, send them off, and everything else. I'm aware that some folks may not have this. You need something that you can at least type into a PDF. If you cannot, then you're going to have to go old school and print this stuff out, fill it out by hand, okay? Affix an actual physical photograph to it. With the digital stuff, you can take a picture, crop it down from your hard drive, and stick it right here on the PDF and save it. So, there's some sort of advantages. I'm going to be doing it digitally, obviously, to demonstrate, but if you need to, you can always print this application out starting on page 22 and then kind of go through, fill everything out, scan it back in, and then you can upload or email it to PSI. The first page is a checklist, okay? So just a simple checklist of everything you need. Now, this checklist is being provided for two examinations. The salesperson's candidates and the broker candidates are using the same application and booklet. So you have to read here. There will be instances where it'll say broker only. Then salesperson candidates, you don't have to worry about that stuff. All right, so after following the prior guidelines, do the final check. The application is legible, complete, and signed. You want to make sure that we've got a clean application. If you're a broker candidate looking at the broker's license, then your current Massachusetts license number. Salesperson candidates will not have that requirement. I'm going to not check it off because we're doing the salesperson requirements. Current picture is attached. You need to add a current facial photograph, something like the size of a passport photo, with that kind of simplicity in the background so that they can visually see you. That will get entered into your profile so that when you show up to the testing center, they look at your ID and they compare it through facial recognition against the photograph that you supplied earlier when you applied. The correct fee is attached or credit card information is included. They do not accept cash at testing centers or to be sent into the testing PSI locations. So the correct fee. The appropriate education is documented and signed. That's our school paperwork that we will get to you that you can add to this application. I'm going to show you it in its blank form just so you can see it visually. If you are a broker candidate, you need to have 3 years here in Massachusetts with a minimum of 25 hours a week for those 3 years. That's the appropriate work experience. Again, doesn't apply to the salesperson's candidate. Your endorsements, those are your 3 references. All right, 3 ref. I'm going to show you the form that they have to fill out. Again, broker only, $5,000 surety bond. You don't have to worry about that if you are a salesperson's candidate. And then the CORI acknowledgement form, the criminal offender record information. That is a Massachusetts criminal background check. It has to be acknowledged, and this form, these 2 documents have to be completed in front of a notary. So you need to be able to find a notary to be able to do this bit. So these 2 pages, the CORI form has to be completed in front of a notary. Okay, it's 2 pages. They verify that you are who you say you are. They check your ID. They stamp and seal it. And then that gets added to this application checklist. Now, what is the school form? That is something that we will fill out for you. I'm going to show you that in the application process. We will make sure that the school form is the correct form, the student's name is on the form, the total hours of education, and the school seal is showing. We will do all of that. That's when you complete your hours, you've done your homework, and you've attended all of the stream sessions during this time. Work experience, again, only broker specific. I'm going to skip that part. That's for broker applicants only. That's another document that your supervising broker signs off on, and all of the dates need to, sort of corroborate with the times that you've been an active licensed individual. Please be aware that when your application arrives at PSI, it is reviewed as quickly as possible, usually in a matter of days or weeks. We cannot wait for missing documentation. Your application will be returned if it is missing documentation, which will create unnecessary delays. It is in your best interest to make sure your application is ready for approval on first review. Complete and email the application to, and here is the email address. Now, when you send this email with the attached application completed, it is my suggestion to immediately authenticate any emails coming from PSI online. This way, when they send you a clearance email, it doesn't end up in promotion, spam, or junk. So learn how to send or authenticate depending on the email service that you use. Go in there and make sure you send or authenticate. Do it or do it even today, just to make sure that if you intend on doing this and sending this out, that you will receive that email when they send it to you. Because remember, it's going to be 30 days from now. You might miss it. Currently, PSI is accepting emailed applications. So that is your specific place that you're going to be sending it to.